Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So in today's video, I do want to talk about one player, and that is going to be about Dembele. Now, before I do go further into this topic, keep in mind that there is going to be like a different feeling within this video because I'm not going to be editing this or editing my voice at all. I'm just going to try and like have a conversation with you guys. I do want to have some sort of like a podcast type of series within this channel, and I kind of want to see how this goes, right? To see if you guys do like it or you guys do not like it. Do you guys like to see 20-minute videos? Do you guys like to see 8-minute videos? And so you are going to have a different version of me. Like, this is more of like a relaxed podcast type of video. So that is what we're going to do. Let me know how you guys feel about this. Do you guys like it? Do you guys not like it? And so yeah, moving forward with Dembele. It has been official that Dembele is back in training. He did train with the players. It has been said that he's doing extremely well, and it says here, according to Samuel Martson, that Dembele is back in full training this morning and is on track to be part of the squad for Tuesday's game against Real Valladolid. And it has also been advanced by Jared Romero. So it is official that Dembele is doing well right now. And I think that with this news coming out from Barcelona, that is a huge, huge deal. Because every time we do hear Dembele coming back from injury, I mean, like, look, first things first, like, I think that if we're having the conversation of always saying that Dembele is coming back from injury, that is a very alarming thing. We do not want to have news coming out saying that this player is coming back from injury. But every time we do hear Dembele coming back from injury, it's always a huge deal because he is a player that is considered as like a asset to Barcelona. And I think I do think that it is because he is a player that brings something to this club that no other player can, right? I think that Dembele is a player that is going to be providing that with something that Barcelona do not have when Ansu Fati is not there, right? He does provide those amazing crosses inside the box. We have seen that in the Champions League. And I think that with those type of characteristics, with those type of skills that he has, and also his take-ons, right? With those type of things that he brings, that is always going to be very valuable to Barcelona. And I think that is the main reason why we always say that it is a big deal when Dembele comes back from injury, because he is a player that is extremely unique compared to the other players that Barcelona currently have, because we don't have players like a Sané or Dembele or Mbappe or a Neymar. We don't have those players. Dembele is one of those players. And I think that it's always a huge deal to hear that Dembele is coming back. And now knowing that Dembele could feature in that match against Valladolid on Tuesday, the big question is going to be this: should we actually use Dembele in that? Like, should we use him in the starting 11? Should we use him in the full 90 minutes? And that is a big question that's going to be headed towards Ronald Koeman, because Dembele recently just came back from a 9-month injury, and I think that seeing that Dembele has recently encountered another injury, which is this one, do you think that it is safe to use Dembele immediately within that starting 11 against Real Valladolid, knowing that we have other games coming up, like those matches against Athletic Club or PSG? So we have to be cautious. Like, I know that it says here that he is on track to be featured in that match, but should he start or should he even be playing in that match? And that is a question that I do ask myself, because we, again, like I said, we have very important matches coming up, and we want Dembele to be fully fit. We do not want to continue to force Dembele every time we do get that chance that he's completely back in training with the group. And so if we look at these games here, we can see here that for the remainder of this 2020 year, we play against Real Valladolid and we play against Eibar at home, which will be on December 29th. Now, one thing to take note, it has also been said that Ronald Koeman is looking to give the players a 4-day rest, which means a 4-day rest straight with no training and with no games. Because Ronald Koeman is very well aware that a very big, hectic second half of the season is coming up. And I think that when you know that you're going to be playing 5 games within 15 days after you come back, it makes sense to give these players a 4-day rest without training, be at home, have some massages. I don't know what these players do when they are in break, but it makes sense. And I think that if you're going to do that, I think that the best thing that you can do with Dembele is to give him about 20 to 25 minutes in each of these remaining games. So against Real Valladolid and against Eibar, and then give him that 4-day rest so he can fully recover. Because just imagine we use him for the full 90 minutes for these 2 matches against Real Valladolid and Eibar for the remainder of this 2020 season, and he encounters another injury that's going to set him back for another 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 weeks. We never know. We have seen Dembele long enough to know what could potentially happen with this player. Look, we have just had the conversation of how important Dembele could be. And I don't think that it would be worth it to maximize Dembele's minutes in these remaining 2 games of this year, because we do have a very hectic schedule coming up. Because when we do come back from that break, we're coming back on January 3rd, and the first game is going to be against Huesca. Then we're going to be playing against Athletic Club 3 days later, and then 4 days later we play against Granada, and then after that it says here 3 days later we play against Real Sociedad, and then Elche, and then Athletic Club again, and then that is where we head towards the Champions League week. So it's very, very hectic, and I think that again with a player like Dembele, you cannot have him get injured again, because we are heading towards that second half of the season, and it's very important for him to stay fit. And in that match against PSG, like, we are going to need him. Against PSG, we are going to need that wide player, someone who can take on players, someone who can run up and down the line. Because PSG is a team that knows exactly how to play against Barcelona. Neymar knows exactly how to play against Barcelona, and we're going to have to bring our weapons too. And so it's a very, very tricky question to ask, because we just know Dembele long enough. We know what might potentially happen, and we don't want to be in that situation where we're not going to have Ansu Fati nor Dembele against PSG, and at the same time we want to do well within these league matches, because currently we are in 5th place and Atletico Madrid right now is in 1st place, and they are 3 games, and they have 3 games or 2 games less than Barcelona. And that is a huge red alarm. So we have to come with all weapons firing. We need to use all of our players in the best way possible when we do come back from that, from this winter break. So I think that with these remaining 2 games, which will be against Real Valladolid and Eibar, the maximum we can give Dembele would be a total of 20 minutes. I don't want him to be forced and start in the starting 11 or play a full 90 minutes. And Ronald Koeman has actually been trying to adjust to it. So, like, if worst case scenario, Dembele gets injured again for some odd reason, Martin Braithwaite has been that player to replace Dembele. Now, is Martin Braithwaite being that player where he can be the next Dembele or the next Neymar? He won't. I don't think that he will. But he's doing extremely well, knowing where his level did come from. And I just think that even though Martin Braithwaite does extremely well compared to like his previous level, I still think that Barcelona, this club, does need better. And one of the players that has been coming up, that has been talked around in Barcelona, just in case, right now we're just strategizing, just in case Dembele gets injured again, or he's not going to be available when we do come back, right? One of the players that has been talked about recently in Barcelona was Alex Collado. That is one of the players, right? It has been said recently that Alex Collado is actually way too good now playing with Barcelona B, and that he should be given a chance within the first team. And it makes sense, because if we're going to be a team that does lack wingers based off fitness issues, why don't we ever call up a player like Alex Collado? And I think that we should have a player like Alex Collado. Like, Alex Collado should be that plan B for Barcelona if Dembele is injured and Ansu Fati is injured going forward in the next year. And we should try him, because people are saying that Alex Collado does very well on utilizing the space. He knows when to cut in. He knows when to get out wide. And so why don't we try a player like Alex Collado? And that's going to be that's always going to go that's going to end up towards Ronald Koeman. Like, does he want to use Alex Collado or not? We know that Ronald Koeman does not favor using Barcelona B players. I mean, he has used Mingueza, he has used Ansu Fati, he has used many other players, but there are positions within this club that need to be reinforced. And I think that one of those positions is the right wing, the left wing area at the moment. And Alex Collado can be one of those players. So that's just something that I have been thinking about. Alex Collado has been doing very well. I think that we should give him a chance. He is like in the same situation as like Riqui Puig, where Riqui Puig was at about 6 to 7 months ago. Riqui Puig was actually, for a moment there, Riqui Puig was actually looking very good, way too good for Barcelona B, and that is why we do see him in the first team. And I think that Alex Collado should be treated in the exact same way, because Alex Collado looks way too good for Barcelona B, and he should be utilized in the first team alongside with other players like Connor De La Fuente and players such as that. So this conversation, like seeing how happy that we are with Dembele coming back, we shouldn't be as worried when Dembele is injured, because we have those players within our disposal. I just think that Ronald Koeman has so much trouble trying to implement these players into the first team. And so we shouldn't be having these winger problems in the first place. We have players in our disposal. And so that's just my thoughts with Dembele coming back. I think that it is great news. But now I think that it is time to strategize, right? What are we going to do if the worst case scenario does come back again? What if Dembele does get injured again? And I do believe that those points that I have made right now could be the plan B, the plan C, if Dembele does get injured. But hopefully it doesn't. Dembele is back. Dembele is going to continue to bring his best form towards Barcelona, and hopefully we get to see a couple of minutes within these upcoming matches, which will be again against Real Valladolid and against Eibar. And then so forth, we'll see how Dembele does from there. So that is how I'm going to be wrapping up today's Barcelona daily news. I only wanted to specifically talk about Dembele because, it's just some great news to hear that a player like him is coming back. And yeah, let me know how you guys do like this type of videos. I did make a poll on Instagram explaining that what would you guys like to see? Would you guys like to see a podcast type of video? Would you guys like to see, would you guys like to continue to see a edited type of video like what I have been doing for the past year? So again, I would love your guys' feedback. I did have a lot of fun making this podcast video. It was very fun, very relaxing. Hopefully I get to have some people here and just talk about football, talk about Barcelona. So thank you guys so much for joining in. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. This is what we do. We talk about the daily news that's currently going on in Barcelona. We talk about post-match reviews. We make pre-match previews with Barcelona. And so very exciting times. The next game is going to be against Real Valladolid. We are going to be away. It is going to be on Tuesday. I'm going to be making a pre-match preview for that match. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be a very late match. It says here that it's going to be at 1 p.m. in my time. Usually we do see Barcelona, the Barcelona games right here in the USA around 12 p.m. or 11:30 p.m. So it's a very late time, but yeah. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.